me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer.
I'm
What?
so glad you found some time to fit me into your
my God.
busy celebrity podcast, gallivanting around big cities. I know, I see. It's fine. Yeah, so thank you for fitting me into your schedule tonight.
My gosh, you're so obnoxious. I was asked by my friend.
Yeah, you can say that now. I think it's official.
We just hung out.
Yeah, I know.
So,
are you calling her sister or are you still friend?
Oh my gosh. Oh goodness. There's a podcast called We Ship It.
Okay.
Where they talk about, romantic couples and books. I think just books.
Okay.
And then they go through like, are they good for each other? All this stuff.
Cute.
Well, they reached out to Marin because of her Twilight podcast.
Of course.
And they wanted 2 guests on the show, and her co-host doesn't like to do other podcasts.
Oh.
So she was like, you're the first person I thought of after Emily. I was like, oh my gosh. So
I mean, are you like geeking out right now?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm sure you are. I was like, James kept asking me, like, I thought you were going to record tonight. I was like, well, we're recording late because Erin has been asked.
I told you we could do it another night.
No. I don't mind the late part, but I was, I'm just, of course. And I'm just so happy for you. I'm just really honestly just teasing you because it's fun to do because I'm your older sister and that's what I do is tease you. But anyway, do you see how I had my hand up for so long?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. You got very Italian there.
What was my point? It's like swirling, like I had a glass of wine in my hand. What's going on with that right here? Mind of its own all of a sudden. Sorry. Anyway, so he kept asking, like, why are you recording or so late and blah, blah. So I told him all about it. I said, and I know, and he's laughing. He's like, that is hilarious. And I was like, I know, it's a Twilight podcast. She's in heaven right now.
I know. Nobody ever lets me talk about Twilight that long.
Yeah, you try every time on this podcast. I'm like, no, it's not a podcast about Twilight, Erin. Focus.
Well, okay, you want to hear something really embarrassing?
That you're wearing your Twilight shirt.
Yeah, but this
is
why it's embarrassing. I read the email and it was like, we're going to do a Zoom call, but we don't use the video.
Okay.
So don't worry about like dressing up. Haha.
Okay.
And so my mind thought, oh, good. They're not even going to see me. I'm going to take a shower. I took a shower, took all my makeup off, got in my pajamas, and my everyday pajamas are pretty much always this.
Always Twilight. Mm-hmm.
I wear this sweatshirt. Team Edward, because Jacob doesn't sparkle. I've worn it so much that most of the writing has come off, but
nothing is sparkling on that.
No, you gave it to me.
Oh, I'm such a good sister.
You are. It's my favorite sweatshirt. And so as soon as I like get in the Zoom call, she was like, "Oh, it's weird. I can't see you." And I was like, "I thought that you weren't. We thought that we were only doing audio." And she was like, "I mean, we could, but we usually react. We won't use it. We won't post the video anywhere." I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, but I am wearing Team Edward. Unironically.
You are Team Edward. Did they call you out for it?
Oh yeah, we talked about it. Marin was like, let me just point out the fact that Erin's brown. No, I know.
I love it. That's hilarious. Oh yeah, so you're totally geeking out. Well, and that's what I told him. I said, but we have to record tonight because I want to hit her on her high because she's got to be like, I am so famous.
Oh,
I got asked to do a Twilight podcast.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I bet it was.
It was really fun.
I actually am very happy for you. I've been excited for you all day.
Are you going to listen to the episode?
I think I might. Just
for you.
Are you
serious?
Yeah, I gotta see how you do. I gotta be able to rate you.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any interest in Twilight. I just want to hear how funny you are.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I hope you delivered.
I mean, there were a couple laughs.
Okay, that's all we need is a couple laughs, Erin. Good. Keep them coming in.
Oh,
that's great. I'm excited for you. So cheers.
Oh, let's see if we can do it again. Oh my gosh, I felt like you almost broke my glass.
I was trying to really go for it. It was a good cheers.
Let's so try again.
Well, why are you holding your glass so weird?
If I hold it down here, I feel like it's going to stop the reverb.
No. Have you ever cheersed? Erin is holding her glass with her middle finger and her thumb at the rim of the glass and trying to cheer. Who are you? Who cheers is like that?
Our glasses are very different. I would cheers better with a stemmed wine glass.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cheers.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you do on that podcast, but as far as your cheersing abilities, I'm going to go low.
Okay, nobody asked me to cheers on the podcast.
Good. Thank God. I'd be so embarrassed. So, what else has been going on in your life?
I think I might be developing an allergy to alcohol.
Oh, no.
In
Did
general.
Yeah.
Or I
That
drink too much.
happens. I have a friend who, all through college, big drinker, we all were, everything was great. And then it was like overnight developed an allergy, cannot drink another drop. It's
Oh,
like
man.
deadly.
Wow.
Sorry, sorry to scare you.
Yeah, well, I maybe just overindulged, but good Lord. The other day I talked about how I overdid it. Maybe I just am an alcoholic.
I mean, I was going to put the points together for you, but...
I know, but man, I went to an ornament exchange party on
Fun.
Saturday, and I did drink a fair amount of bourbon.
Yeah.
And I was drinking bourbon because the last 2 times I've had wine, I've thrown up.
Oh, no.
Even when it's like not that much.
Yeah, that's not good.
Right. So I was like, well, I better go to bourbon then.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I was drinking bourbon.
I can't not drink anything. I better go to bourbon.
I had to get a ride home. Any guesses on who my driver was?
I bet it was Repeat Reevy.
It was Repeat Reevy.
You're like racking up the celebrities this week. Don't you feel like Reevy's a celebrity?
I do. Yeah, I do.
You got Marin, the celebrity Marin, and now you got Reevy taking you home.
I know.
Told you, gallivanting around the world.
Gallivanting. You're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I had to leave my car. I asked her the next day. I was like, how embarrassing was I? She's
no.
All you kept saying was, do not let me drive home. Like,
don't
let me drive home. I was like, oh, yeah, that's not embarrassing. That was being very responsible.
Very responsible. Yeah. Good job. I'm proud of you.
And then I laid on the couch as long as I could on Sunday. At one point, Penelope had a birthday party to go to.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, gosh, I don't think I can make it. Like,
oh, no.
I kept throwing up. I was so sick.
Oh, man, girl. You've always been a throw-upper.
I was so sick, though, that I kind of thought maybe I finally got the stomach bug that was going around. So maybe I did.
I don't know. Oh, well, maybe a fever.
Yeah, I had a bit of a fever. But
anyways. I'm so glad we're sitting this close and recording tonight. That's awesome. No, thank you. You can't cheers, and I'm not cheersing that. So
no, I think it's fine. But I looked up at her and I was like, listen, I don't know if we can make it to this birthday party.
Oh.
What if we got together with her over the break and we just you give her a gift then? And her little eyes welled up with
I'm sure she was looking forward to a birthday party.
Like,
she'd already bragged to Miles all about it.
I know. She was like, it's fine. That's fine. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot be the mom who is too hungover to take her kid to the birthday party.
Then you really are an alcoholic.
Right. So I was like, fine, we'll go. And she's like, no, really, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm crying. I was like, it's fine. Get ready. Let's go.
I got my shit together. Now you get your shit together and let's do this.
We got to the party. It was so loud. I walked in and I was like, listen, I maybe overindulged last night. I'm going to go sleep in my car. She was like, oh my God, that sounds great. She said, just be back in 2 hours. I was like, great. I went in my car and slept for 2 hours.
Girl.
It was rough.
Listen, that might be more to unload on a podcast than telling the world I go
probably,
camo.
Probably. I think I'm just going to cool it. Right now I'm drinking ginger ale and I put 2 bourbon cherries in it. That's all I'm drinking.
Oh, perfect. That's all you need.
And even then I'm like, I don't even know if I'm ready for bourbon cherries.
Well, then don't.
But they're so good.
You don't have to. It's fine. And anytime, like I'm always up for like a good cleanse. I always take the month of January. I try to. I say always. I think I did it once. But because I successfully did it once, I feel like it's an always.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always do that every year. I take the month of January and I just don't drink the month of January. So maybe, girl, let's do it. I don't care.
All right.
If you decided you wanted to quit drinking right now and you needed a buddy, I would cheer you on and look for somebody really hard. No, I'm kidding. I give it a good go. I try it out with you.
Yeah. I don't know. We're just going to see how.
Yeah. I mean, also no pressure, but I'm down for that. Always getting healthier is always a good idea. Yeah. So
anyways, yeah. What have you been up to?
Nothing I could talk about on the podcast.
Oh. All right.
Let me think. What have I done? I started the strangest show I think I've ever watched.
Oh,
I'm two episodes in, and tonight I almost thought maybe I don't want to record tonight because it's so strange. I can't decide if I like it or if it's just so bizarre. It's just enough that it's going to keep me hanging on.
Okay.
The Servant on Apple.
Oh, with the baby?
Yes.
I watched that whole series a long time ago.
Serious? I think you might have told me about it.
I totally did. It's so
But you
weird.
know, what's funny is that the way you described it is nothing like what I'm watching.
Okay.
Like what I pictured in my mind of what I thought you were telling me about a book. So I just
Oh,
did never put that together. But
yeah.
yeah, I watched that first episode. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is jarring
Yeah, it's
is the
weird.
word. Jarring is the word for that. And so James lulled him right to sleep. I mean, like those slow burn like
Yeah.
dramas. I mean, there is nothing better for that man to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, give me the popcorn. I'm signed up for this.
It's got that actress in it from
6 Feet Under.
6 Feet Under. I think, no, I was going to say Can't Hardly Wait, but I think she's the girl I always get her mixed up with.
Yeah. Oh, maybe she is in that though.
I don't know. I love her.
I do too. She's an amazing actress. I was really glad to see her in it. So I'm here for it. It's
It's interesting. It's worth a watch. It's got
bizarre.
Rupert Grint. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know who that is,
It's
but
from Harry
yeah.
Potter. It's Ron from Harry Potter. That made it sound like I thought he was hot.
Gosh,
And I
that's
don't.
exactly like my face is. I wish you all could see my face right now. I am so
I'm
confused.
not attracted to him at all, but I just love him.
Okay, that is. I'm glad you clarified that because as little as I know about Harry Potter, I do know which one. What's his name? No,
Ron.
Ron is because everybody talks about how Miles with the red hair.
Oh, yeah.
Looks, like he could be right, a Weasley, and I know you talk about that all the time. So I knew which one was that kid.
Yeah, no, he's not.
I don't find
sexy.
him attractive. I'm sure someone out there does, which is wonderful. I'm glad for them, but glad for him. I hope somebody does. Man, sorry, Ron. But anyway, Rupert, Ron, whatever your name is, I don't really care. I don't really, honestly, don't care. But when you said that, I was like, whoa! I thought I knew your taste in men.
No.
I also thought you were talking about the husband, who is pretty good looking.
Is good looking. He's good looking.
So I thought, oh yeah, and then I was like, with you, and I was like, oh, I am not with you. And what are we talking about?
Sorry, I just really support things that I love. So I really love Harry Potter, so I'll watch him in anything.
There you go. Well, that was an emotional roller coaster for me, but I'm back on board now. I've got it figured out.
I like that you're so invested on my type.
Well, because I thought I knew you. That would be the same way. You know how like your whole kind of world shifted and we made an entire podcast about it? Because you're like, what? You don't believe in ghosts?
Right.
If all of a sudden, like you told me Ron Beasley was hot, I would be like, wait. What's his name?
Ron Weasley.
Oh, sorry, whoever Ron Beasley is out there. Oh, poor real Ron Beasley in real life is like, I'm pretty good looking.
Oh, poor
and
Rupert
also
Grint in real life.
Rupert what?
Grint.
I think. Oh God, what a name. Rob, whatever. Anyway, bless his heart. I'll just end it there. But yeah, I think that would rock my world if all of a sudden you shifted there.
Yeah, what would that podcast be?
It would be very judgy, and let's just not go down that road. I try every episode not to offend anybody during this podcast. I can't imagine who all I would offend on that one.
I watched that Slumberland movie.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's cute, isn't it?
It was cute. I cried.
I did too.
And Penelope was the only one who stayed through the end with me to watch it.
Okay. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. When you cry, what is her reaction when you cry?
She could care less when I cry. My other girls make fun of me when I cry.
Does she cry?
This is the weird reaction.
Okay.
She didn't cry.
Uh-oh.
And
she
I
laugh?
was like, no, she just like watched it. It was fine. And then I was like, okay, go brush your teeth. She went and brushed her teeth, and then she climbed back in bed with me. And I was like, baby, it's like almost midnight. It is bedtime. And as soon as I said that, she broke down sobbing. I was like, why are you crying? And she was like, couldn't get words out.
Yeah.
I was like, is it because of the movie? And she just like shook her little head. I was like, you're like, it's been like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, she like held it with her.
She did. Well, I mean, it is about a loss of a parent. So I could see how that would, scare her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe don't watch that movie right before bed if you have small children. Whereas my like creepy little son, I'm sitting there watching it and I am like full on crying. It is, there's a part in it that's very sad, very emotional. And he's just staring at me. He's like, are you crying yet? Like, are you crying yet? I'm like, yes, leave me alone. And he was like, it's sad, isn't it? And then he just kept like side-eyeing me like, I can't believe she's really crying.
Oh my gosh.
He was so excited that I was actually crying.
Yeah. Sophie and Nora watched My Girl with me once and they didn't cry.
Yeah, they're dead inside. They're more dead inside than you and I.
Yeah, they freaked me out.
And that's scary.
I'm like, one eye open on you girls. Like if you don't cry during this movie,
oh my gosh,
you are heartless.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. You should maybe get them seen.
They have later said, it was really sad. I think I cried. I'm like, I remember that you did not. But whatever. At least you feel like you know it should be sad.
Well, then there's still hope for Penelope. At least you have one.
That's right. All right. Well, speaking of kids,
Yeah, that's a great segue,
we've got some creepy kid stories.
including one of my own that I'm excited to tell.
Ooh, do you want to tell that one last?
Sure. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
hold on to it.
Okay. The first story I'm going to read tonight
Mhm.
is from Miss Detweiler,
Okay,
aka Catherine.
I love it.
Okay, so Catherine writes, "Are you still looking for spooky kid stories?
Yes.
Our 4-year-old grandson who lives with us has a very active imagination.
He's adorable, though.
He is. He decided a few months ago that there was a ghost living in our basement. Sorry, this isn't the house you remember from your childhood that Aaron is convinced was haunted. Okay, maybe it followed you." My sister was coming to visit and would be sleeping in the basement. He kept talking about the ghost, so I finally had him make a video to warn her about it.
Oh, funny.
Here's the best transcript I could come up with.
Okay.
Even I had trouble figuring out a couple of the words. Born is what he calls my sister, Borne.
Well, that's a funny nickname.
Yeah. Okay, so me. What did you want to tell Born? Jay. Born, be careful and watch out. There's a ghost hiding and don't move anything.
Oh.
It could be anywhere. Anywhere, okay? Me, where is the ghost hiding? Jay, it's hiding behind one of my Paw Patrol things.
That's
Me.
where they always go, those damn sneaky ghosts behind the Paw Patrol.
Me, what room is it hiding in? Jay, it's hiding in Mama's bedroom.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't like that. Me, where's Born going to sleep? Jackson, in Mama's bedroom. Me, gasp. What else do we need to tell Born? Jay, Born, do not find her, okay? She'll
Oh.
chase you out of the room at night, okay? And be careful. She'll be here and spook you.
Ooh, that's creepy. She'll chase you? I don't want that.
in
And
the
it's a
middle of the
she.
night.
I don't know why I was saying this whole time it was a male ghost. I'm
Well,
not, you know,
sexist.
I know in gender equality, what does it matter? I don't know. I don't care, but I don't know if I think that a male ghost is scarier than a female.
I don't know.
But clearly I think a female might be scarier because when you said that, I was like, ooh, a female.
For the record, he hasn't mentioned the ghost lately, and he never gave me any details that explained why he thought there was one. Like I said, he has a very active imagination. And she sent us the video and said we could use the audio.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is direct from her grandson.
And we're calling him Jay just to change his name.
Yes.
What did you want to tell Born?
Born, be careful and watch out. There's a ghost hiding, and don't move anything. It could be anywhere.
Oh my
Where's
God,
the
it's so
ghost
cute.
hiding?
It's hiding in one of my Paw Patrol things.
Oh,
What room is it hiding in?
It's hiding in Mama's bedroom.
Where's
ooh.
Born going to sleep?
In Mama's bedroom.
What
Oh.
else do you need to tell Born?
Born, do not find her, okay? See, so chase you out of the room night. And hide and be careful. So be here and spook you.
Oh, he is
So cute.
So cute.
Yeah, y'all don't get to see him, but he's
Oh,
adorable.
he is so cute. That little smile at the end. I
Yeah.
love it. And that, okay, so I can't believe I'm going to say this is the skeptic,
Okay.
but I do think that kids have like a sixth sense.
Yeah.
Kind of like that movie. I see dead people. No, but for real, I don't think it's about ghosts, but I think that sometimes they are such empaths. Am I saying
Yeah.
that word correctly? Like you
Yeah.
taught me to? I think they're such empaths that they can pick up on like just different energies, different level of energy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying ghosts.
Okay.
But let me dip into that world just for fun.
Okay.
Let's say it is a ghost in there.
Uh-huh.
And Miss Detweiler's Catherine, it just flows off my tongue.
Right.
I don't ever think. Anyway, is just having this cute little conversation. And she is finding it so endearing and cute and sweet. But what if that bitch is really going to run after you? Meaning the ghost in that story. Like, what if
really
that?
scary?
What if that really does happen to him? And he's like terrified.
Yeah.
That's so scary. And Miss Detweiler, I'm so sorry. I said the B word. Kind of regret it, but we'll leave it in. But anyway, like that would be terrifying if like you're just taking it at face value of like, oh, this is a cute little imagination. And I know I know, Miss Detweiler, you and I are on the same page about this, but there's always that little tiny what if. That would be so scary.
Yeah.
Oh, he is so cute.
He is adorable. And I cannot believe you just said all that. That's amazing.
I've come so far. You've really been working your magic on me, Erin.
That's right. It really is a magical night.
It really all your dreams are coming true in one night.
If only Rupert Grant would walk through that door. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. It's all happening. Yeah, like you're a guest celebrity
Oh my
podcast.
gosh. Move on. I am
can't-
not.
can't-
Move on.
I can't get over it. Can't get over it. It's amazing. So exciting. Can't believe you haven't told everybody. Have you told everybody about it?
No, I didn't tell Kevin till tonight.
That's jaw dropping.
I forgot. Well,
Oh, Marin, did you hear that?
it wasn't Marin's podcast.
Well, I know, but she invited you.
No, I just forgot. I forgot momentarily. Every time I was excited about it, he was asleep, and then he'd wake up, and I was doing something.
Hey, Marin, next time you need a celebrity guest, tag me in because I'll be real pumped.
She'll really talk about Twilight with you.
Yeah, sure. I'll know all their names. They glitter, they sparkle. It's great.
Mm-hmm. All right, you ready for yours?
Oh, yeah, I forgot I was going. I was just like basking in the glow of your fun, amazing night. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so this story is from Andrea. And let me just say, Andrea, thank you for the opening. Hello, beautiful sisters.
Oh,
I mean,
hi.
hello, Andrea. One of us is a celebrity now, so. How are you doing today? I mean,
It's a magical day, so I'm doing good.
I'm fair to middling. Isn't that a good old Southern phrase, fair to middling? Okay, here we go. I have a story for you from my creepy little sister. It happened about 8 years ago when she was 4 and I was still in college. I came home one summer and she had a plastic skull toy hanging from her handle on her bedroom door.
Oh.
We shared bedrooms when I was back, and it was on the outside of the door. When asked why it was there, she said it was to keep my brothers away because they annoyed her too much. In her defense, all us girls were the older ones and had gone off to college, and she was the youngest of all of us and was left to deal with 4 boys.
Oh my gosh, that's such a big family.
There's 9 of us in total.
Holy moly.
Oh, in case you were wondering. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. Anyhow, she went on to explain how she had the spirit/imaginary friend who would help her deal with my brothers and keep them out of her room. The plastic skull, she said, was a warning, and only those invited were allowed in. I love it. She never said what the consequences would be for the trespassers, but she would threaten them with it. When I asked her where the skull had come from, because no one in the house seemed to know, and this is where it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
And with my highly conservative Catholic parents, that wasn't the kind of toy we would be allowed to have. She said she had just found it in her toy chest. She also said it wasn't complete and she still had to find the body.
Oh.
Which she did.
Oh.
Bone by bone.
What? How big is this skull?
Well, I think it's like the skull is just part of it, and then bone, like then you can.
Yeah,
put
I know, but like, is this like a child-sized skull?
What
size is the skull?
Shit just got real. I didn't think of that. I was imagining just like a small little thing.
Okay.
Which is even weirder that she could just go find the little tiny pieces.
Ooh, that is
to
very
put this
creepy.
together. And then she said, like, what the fuck? That's what Andrea said. Yeah, that to me is the creepiest part.
Absolutely.
Because nobody knows where it came from, but yet the pieces are everywhere.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
She refused to take it down, and I didn't insist because at that moment, she doesn't go with what I wanted her to say. I wanted to be like, because at that moment, I didn't want to fuck with a skull. But because in that moment, I thought it was just her imagination. My brothers never spoke of anything paranormal happening to them, but I don't know that they would because they don't believe in any of it. And they probably would have just shrugged it off as a coincidence or random occurrence. I also changed a lot of that sentence. Same meaning.
Okay.
Same exact meaning. She said brushed. I said shrugged. It's fine. You know me, Andrea. Sorry. It wasn't until sometime later that I had a recovered memory from when I was a kid. And I also had an imaginary friend who was a little girl who turned into this creepy skeleton/zombie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Andrea wrote that in
Yeah.
her first story to tell me she would protect me from other people.
Okay.
And it
I
was in
remember
the
that.
yeah, and she says, and it was in the same house.
Ooh.
When I went back for Christmas break, the skull was gone, and my mom let her decorate the door with drawings, glitter, and stickers, which I think was her only way and last resort to take that skull away from my sister.
Oh, yikes.
I have to add that the little, oh yeah, I forgot she does a little description of the skeleton. So this will give us more. We won't have to be freaked out by a life-size skeleton
Okay.
child. Oh, the creepiest kind. I have to add the skeleton toy in itself wasn't scary. It was like something spooky cute that you would get at Halloween,
Oh, good.
right? You could take it apart and put it together because the skeleton parts connected with each other. The scary thing was that no one knew where it had come from. She was just randomly getting out little pieces and
Hmm.
putting them together and began saying the creepy remarks about it keeping people away. I've asked her about it on several occasions since, and she doesn't remember anything. I hope this was a creepy enough story for you, and if you can debunk it, go ahead.
Oh.
I don't need your permission, Andrea. I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you, but thank you. You wrote it in, so therefore I get to debunk it if I want.
That's right.
Yeah, it is. I'm just Andrea. You know me. I'm just teasing you, girl. Okay, so a debunk for that. I mean, it is a toy, and kids pick up random toys from all over. Whether some could call that stealing, some could just call it like, you see something interesting, you pick it up, you don't even think about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, as a teacher, my pockets are filled. Maybe I steal, but I'm like, give me that little thing. Stop playing with that, and I always try to give it back at the end of the day, but I always forget to. So I do give it back the next day. But my point is, kids constantly have little trinkets, little toys. They mean the world to them. I don't know why. I don't know why. They're so ridiculous. But if you're a teacher and you take those things away, make sure you always give them back, even if it's the next day, which I do have to do. But she could have gotten it at school. Maybe a friend gave it to her or something. But just because nobody in the house knew where she got it from doesn't mean that she didn't get it from somewhere outside of the house.
It's really weird that all the body parts were in different places.
That is strange. But if you could imagine, maybe it came in a package and she brought it home and opened it up and her toy box was playing with it and then could only find the skull. So I think it is debunkable, but it's still kind of creepy. And I love her spunk of like, I need backup. I need reinforcement because I'm not letting these boys mess with me anymore.
Right?
And whatever whether it was placebo or not, that skeleton, it sounds like it was doing the job.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So
All
there you
right.
go.
All right. Well, I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay. And now for the email that sparked the whole idea for creepy kid suggestions.
Oh, I love it.
Because Melinda wrote in with the subject, I was the creepy kid.
Ooh.
And she sent
what
this,
a confession.
I know. She sent this in like
a long time ago.
Mid-November. So I read that title and I was like, we need some more creepy stories in here.
Yeah, kids say some really creepy things.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why we keep having them around.
I'm just glad we're done multiplying them.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh, whose idea was that?
Okay, so Melinda says, after my grandpa had passed, I would see a break in the clouds or beautiful sunset and ask my mom if that was him looking down from heaven.
Oh, well, that's not creepy. That's sweet.
I know. I figured since it was beautiful and he'd gone to a beautiful place, it made sense that it would be him looking down at us to say hi. She would always say, no, that's not how that works, and try to change the topic.
Wow. Maybe, Mom, you just go with it.
I persisted, however, and said that I was sure he'd check in to visit because I could sometimes hear him walking around in her bedroom.
Okay, that's different than a rainbow.
When I'd hear heavy footsteps. This time she sternly said, that's not your grandpa. Now let's get on with something else.
Oh.
Now let's talk about something else.
Who was it?
I don't know.
I mean, spill the tea. Who was it?
I don't know.
Was it a ghost or was it somebody else?
I don't know.
So sorry, Melinda. That is your mother I'm talking about. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. But also, moms have lives too.
That's true.
Just gonna say that.
At the time, I couldn't understand why she seemed upset by it. I figured it was nice that my grandpa was still around, checking in on us. As an adult now, though, looking back, I feel so bad for my mom, as I'm sure she loved having her 7-year-old basically tell her, hey, Mom, I hear your dead dad walking around upstairs in your bedroom when we're home alone. So I don't know. So I think she's afraid she's upsetting her mom.
I mean, I don't know which is more.
the man.
I was say I don't know what's more upsetting to you, Melinda. Could be somebody sneaking into that window. I'm just throwing it out there. It just is a possibility. Some could call it a debunk, and that's my job.
Okay, for my next experience, I can't recall if I'd ever mentioned it to my parents or just kept it to myself. But in my bedroom, my bed was situated, so my head was towards the wall and my feet were towards the door, so I could see into the hallway. The area in the hallway where I could see was right at the top of the stairs. When my door was open, while I waited for my mom or dad to come up and tuck me in, I would see adult human-shaped shadows standing just at the top of the stairs, and they would peek in at me. They would appear to be peeking around the corner, which is the worst way, and I'd catch a glimpse of them. They would pull back quickly into the shadows of the staircase.
Oof.
These weren't the shadows of my parents, because I could later hear my parents walking up the steps. The stairs were divided into 2 sets. You'd walk up one flight of stairs, turn the corner, and walk up the second flight of stairs, going a different direction. I could hear my parents start walking from the bottom of the first set of stairs, not coming from the landing before the second set of stairs. Compared to the footsteps, these things terrified me.
Oof.
Even now, as I type this, I remember these things. The hair on my neck is standing up.
Oh my gosh.
Because of this, I could never sleep with my bedroom door opened. It had to be closed. This wasn't just while I was a child either. This affected me for years, even into adulthood. When I'd moved out, even after I was married, it was at least a couple of years before I was able to be comfortable sleeping with the bedroom door even partway opened. Which truly, that's good for fire, because you're supposed to sleep with your bedroom door shut.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, firefighter Aaron.
I never do, because I'm afraid my kids, I won't hear them if they cry, but it is.
Here's what I've learned about kids. If they want you bad enough, they're getting their asses out of bed and coming to get you.
Believe it or not, my husband and I actually live in the same house now as this happened in. When I first read this, I thought she meant like, we live together. And I was like,
believe it or not.
I believe it. But no, in the same
at one
house.
time during the marriage, maybe Melinda liked her window open too.
Right. We bought it from my parents back in 2019 so they could downsize. It hadn't been renovated since the 70s and needed some major updates, and they weren't sure how well it would sell at the time. This was before the housing market got as crazy as it is now. We do still hear the footsteps from time to time. And I've had a few experiences here, but nothing that's felt negative, just neutral. And no more shadow figures. We just ignore it and go about our business and coexist with whatever else is here. And things have been fine. We just try to keep the house filled with light and positivity, and that seems to have worked for us so far. Sorry this has gotten so long, but I hope you both are having a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Stay spooky and skeptical.
Of course it does, Melinda, because you live in that house.
I know. She's so sweet.
She is a Patreon of ours, and she just exudes joy.
I know.
And
she's
happiness.
So sweet.
Yes, she's like one of those people you feel bad being like critical in any way around, or like or like negative in any way, because like you're just so sweet and positive and happy. I don't want to bring the mood down because Melinda's here. So I could imagine you don't have to work very hard to keep that house full of light and love. Okay. Footsteps that are not the milkman's. We're going with a different debunk here. Okay. Old houses do creak. And this sounds like an older home.
Okay.
Very well lived in. The shadow figure.
I would argue that creaking and footsteps are not the same sound.
Yeah, but what if somebody's not even in that part of the, like how far does a floorboard creak?
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm not a scientist, Erin. I'm just here to tell you that science is real and it explains everything.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
How it does it, I don't know. Some could say that's the magic part of science. But I do think that the shadow figures, light and the way light moves and shadows in your imagination. I'm so sorry, Melinda, but that word is in there because as a grown woman, I have said this before, I can make my imagination run wild and I have to contain it. I have to grab it before it runs away with me. And I'm like, no. Think for a second. What is that in your closet?
Because it could be a ghost and
It is not a ghost, but so like my closet has no doors because when we moved in, James hated the way they looked. I thought they were fine. They were closet doors, but whatever, to each their own. To me, they looked a lot better than my messy closet. I don't think he quite knew who he was marrying. Now the doors are off, and so now you just see all of our clothes hanging there.
What a good metaphor for marriage. Now the doors are off.
Now the doors are off. He sees it all, and quite the mess that it is. So he sees, we all see the reality of my filth, and it's right there in the closet. But with the lights turned off, I can make those objects become like the most sinister. And like it reminds me of that group that we're in, Things with Faces.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I can sit there and stare at something and go, oh my gosh.
Right.
And then it's like one step away, like that's a face. And then it's one tiny little thought away of this is a demonic face.
Ooh.
And this face is like there for a purpose.
My brain does not do this.
Oh, my
ever.
brain. Oh, yeah, my brain will run with it.
That's why you're a skeptic.
It probably
you have
is.
to.
I have to like reel it back in, because if I don't, I will terrify myself. I'll never go to sleep. So I just have to go, Megan, that is, and I mean, look, I'll admit it. I am not too proud to admit that I haven't turned on the light to take a second look and go, what is it that you're seeing that you have made into some sort of crazy, scary object?
Well, at least you didn't just go, so I turned around and I fell asleep.
No. I'll investigate it. But even when I'm investigating it, I'm not investigating going, I'm going to catch the ghost. I'm going, my skepticism is going, what are you twisting and turning to make it fit into your imagination?
Yeah.
And so I'll turn on the light to see what it is. And it's, lo and behold, my cute pink sweater that's got like little bitty holes. That makes it sound like I wear pink.
I was like, what pink sweater are you wearing?
I will say it mauve. I do have a new mauve sweater. I don't think you've seen it, but it's cute. I'll let you borrow it. But it does have kind of like holes, like not big holes. It's starting to sound really ugly.
I can't wait to see it.
It's like knitted,
Yeah.
but it's texturized. So in the dark, it just has texture to it. So your mind can run wild with all the faces you could see in it, is all I'm saying. So anyway, it's a cute sweater. You will love it.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
You'll borrow it once you see it.
I can't wait to borrow it.
It's fine. Plus, don't shame me for having a mauve sweater, because then I'll never buy another color again. You know
I
me?
would never shame you for wearing color.
I'm like black, gray.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I like to wear. Yeah. Tonight, look at me. It's kind of blackish gray. So anyway, so I'm just saying that I think that your mind can run wild with itself, especially the younger you are and the less knowledge base you have to turn the lights on to investigate what it is you're seeing.
But these aren't just still figures. They're peeking in and out. What's that?
Yeah, I think it could still be the way the light is moving. Like maybe your parents aren't coming up the stairs, but maybe they're walking past the landing, or they're walking past that hallway, and it's creating these shadows that look like they're darting in, when really it's light reflecting off of things, or the absence of light. I'm really trying to sound pretty smart here, but there's something going on with light that makes those shadows happen. And because of your sweet imagination, it's like, it's after me. Something is scary, but it's still terrifying. Listen, I think honestly, the scariest thing is imagination.
Yeah.
That's how people come up with horror movies. That's how people come up with movies called The Servant, or shows called The Servant, that is the weirdest show I've ever watched. That's weird. How people come up with this stuff, because of their imagination.
Yeah.
And the human being's imagination, some could say that in itself is paranormal.
Okay.
I don't know.
It was weird.
I don't know. I thought it was like a really smart, brilliant moment I just had. Like, I thought you were going to go like, yeah, but you didn't. No. So it didn't land. So let me try that again. Some could say it's even scarier than the paranormal. There we go. There it is. That's better. There it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. I just had to snowball around a little bit.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, turns out you've got a very spooky story.
Okay. Well, I think it's pretty spooky. Also, I just think my daughter is spooky in general. So I don't know how spooky everybody else will think this is, because they don't know the subject quite as well as I do. I find her scary. Mainly because, and this isn't even the real story, but this scares the shit out of me all the time. Almost daily now, or nightly, I guess you would say. She can get in and out of her crib, Lovely.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
All the moms out there going, oh, not that
Yeah.
face. And she comes into the room and she doesn't wake me up. She just stands next to my
That's
bed.
horrible.
She doesn't like poke me. She will get really, really close and just breathe. That's typically what wakes me up.
That's awful.
It's horrible. It is like, imagine being dead asleep.
Yeah, I've been there.
And also, who knows how long she stands there
Right.
before she decides to do that, which is also like, creep, get away. What are you watching me sleep for, you little weirdo? Golly, y'all, she's so cute though. But anyway, she gets real close and starts breathing. And then every time I jump, and like it's like being jump scared in the middle of the night. It's
Yeah.
terrifying. So she's got a creep factor already to
Sure.
her. And she's like, she's high energy. She's a little spitfire redhead. And so, sometimes she'll just like kind of like ha 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 laugh demonically a little bit. And I'm like, oh man, you are a little bit creepy. I'm gonna love her no matter what. No
Sure.
matter what. Possession or not, I'm going to love her.
That's good.
Okay, but we're sitting at dinner tonight. And this just happened tonight. And,
Oh, man.
and James even he's like, hey, at least you got a story for the podcast.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
I guess so. Which is what prompted us into like gathering or like to going, okay, well, we have a couple of scary kid stories.
Right.
So here we go. She's kind of in this phase also where she's really weepy because she wants attention.
Oh, yeah.
So and it'll be out of nowhere. So it's like all of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm sad. And it's like the most over dramatic, like, Mom, I'm so sad. I'm like, you are. Oh, come here. And then of course I give in and I'm like, let me love on you. And so it's this whole thing. But tonight she walks up. We're all finishing up dinner. She has just smeared guacamole everywhere.
Okay.
So she finished up her dinner as well and then walked away to the couch, just smeared on the couch while I was in conversation. It was lovely. But then while she's got like her hands filled with guacamole, she comes and lays her head on my chest, like so sad and sweet. And I looked down like, did she get hurt? What's wrong?
Yeah.
And I said, what's wrong, baby? And she looked at me and she said, I'm sorry. I said, it's okay. What's wrong? She said, I died. And I looked at her and I thought she said, I hide at first. I said, you hide? And she said, no, I died. And I looked at her like, what? Why are you talking about this? And then I looked at James and he just kind of shrugged like, whatever, until she then goes, I killed.
Oh, no.
And I don't know if she meant like I was killed or what, but it stopped both of us in our tracks. And I looked over him like, what the hell?
Yeah, why would she even know the word kill?
Killed ever. No, she doesn't know that word. She
Ew.
does not know that word. This is awful. I'm thinking past life is kind of where I'm going to go with this. I mean, I'm hoping she's not definitely, I mean, God, not even hoping, like that's horrible to think that would be a premonition, but I'm going to go past life. And if I'm going past life, I really hope she meant I was killed, not I killed. They're both horrible. They're
What a
both
weird thing to hope.
I know, but I got to live with this little psycho who's also coming in and watching me sleep.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't like, I'm sorry I had to die, but I did kill, and that's how it all ended out. It's all dark and it's dark humor. But I was like, oh my gosh, what do you think she meant by that? And I look over at James like, are you listening to this?
Oh my gosh.
Because, he doesn't react to anything.
Right.
So he's just like taking it all. I mean, he did stop. Like all of a sudden he tuned in like a little bit more than, and then I was like, are you getting all this? He was like, yeah, but at least it's a story for the podcast.
Oh my gosh. That's so weird.
Yeah, it is so weird.
Should have dug in more.
Did
you have a other mommy?
What
was she like?
No, I didn't dig in because I would dig in if it were something like, I miss my mommy, if it was something like that, I'd be like, well, what do you mean? But this was like dark. So I was like, oh, I don't want to dig any deeper.
So you just let it
I just held her and rocked her. I mean, she was sad. Like she was like really sad.
Not her fake sad.
I don't think it didn't feel like her fake sad. And then I just went to distracting and then we just moved on.
Huh.
And I was like, well, I'm just going to tell that on the podcast because that is weird as fuck and I don't know what to do with it.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Wow. She's such a little weirdow.
She
I love her
is
so much.
She is such a little weirdo. I also tell Erin all the time, I think she used to be a stripper.
Oh my gosh.
Because I really think she's
got some moves.
She's got some moves.
That are not okay for a 2-year-old.
They're not okay. And she does not watch. She's not been influenced by anything on TV. Also, because they're so 2-year-old, it's hilarious. But she came out of her bedroom completely naked the other day and was just like gyrating her body in a way. And she kept saying, my body, my body. I'm like, oh, yeah, everybody sees your whole body. It was a video that I will only show Aaron. I mean, I didn't even show her dad. I didn't show anybody. I'm like, girl, look at this stripper. This is a little 2-year-old as she's been reincarnated. Oh no, she was a stripper who was killed.
I
in her
know.
former
That's what
life.
it kind of sounds like.
Wow, that's so sad. I'm gonna work really hard to give her a good life in this life.
That's good.
Okay, that's my goal.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah,
Golly.
I'll love her, stripper. I don't care. Take your clothes off, girl. I will protect you. I do not care.
That's right. Yeah, she's got
I
a
mean,
couple people.
wait until you're like 18, a little bit older. but then it's on. I will be your bodyguard.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's really creepy. I don't like that story.
I know. Sorry, it was a good one though. It was creepy.
spooky.
It stopped us in our track. This creepiest part though is when she gets up in the middle of the night and stands
Oh,
there.
I hate that.
It's awful. Like,
Yeah.
why? Who are you?
All kids do that. It's horrible.
And it's like you have free range of this house at that point.
Right.
Everybody's knocked out. Like, go get a snack. Go into that kitchen and just go to town, girl. Have a good time. No, I'm just gonna stand over your bed and creepily gaze at you while you sleep, and then get real close to my mouth. It's always my mouth that she's breathing like it's like she's trying to give me breath. I'm like, what's going on? It's so jarring. It's awful. But I love her.
Good, me too.
So I'm super excited about tonight's fan favorite.
Okay.
Because I've actually met her a couple of times.
Okay.
Once with you and once on my own when she made me feel so famous. I felt like you couldn't be the only one that felt so famous tonight. So
sure.
I wanted to bring up that time that I had a celebrity sighting.
You got recognized.
And I was the celebrity.
Oh, yeah, girl.
Which is so funny because it was the most casual, hey, my skeptical sister. Like it wasn't like, but in my mind, now that I go back, I think, oh, she was fangirling out. She actually was not at all. I was the one that's like, oh my, I flipped out. She did not. She was like, yeah, girl, I listen to your podcast. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You have a podcast, which I know it's not. But in my mind, it was fun for a moment to be that celebrity. Okay, so I asked the lovely, the one, the only Megan. Actually, there's a couple of Megans out there.
We do have a lot of Megans.
We have a lot of Megans, but there's none other. There's none like this Megan.
This is the one and only this one.
This is the one that made me feel so special. So she, therefore, is so special. She's also special for a lot better reasons than that. Oh, man, do I talk a lot. So, of course, I asked Megan, what can we promote or plug for you? To thank her for all the support, mainly just my one moment. Hey, all, thank you. I'm so honored. I work at one of the local Norton hospitals, and RSV is really bad right now.
It is.
It's, I mean, listen to Aaron tonight. Oh, yeah, you won't because Rue is editing this. So imagine what Rue had to edit out. No, I'm not trying to make light of RSV. It is really bad right now. I didn't even know that adults could get RSV.
Yeah.
And turns out they can. A lot of our staff is out with it. Oh, and it's overwhelming the pediatric ERs. People can donate at Norton Children's website or just remember to avoid kissing babies. Isn't that? And that's so hard to do.
I know.
What do you do about the baby that does not avoid close contact with you, comes into your room and tries to breathe into your mouth in the middle of the night? I'll just sit her down and explain to her RSV is going around that needs to stop.
There you go.
You solved my problem, Megan. Thank you. And avoid close contact if you feel sick. There are currently no widely available vaccines for RSV, so it's important to follow isolation precautions around infants and young children. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday.
Aww.
Also, a side note, I think I'm destined to continue running into you all. So I met you the first time at Patrick's during karaoke about a year ago. Then recently at Lemieux, and on one of your recent episodes, you all mentioned the ever so classy Hikes Point Lounge, which backs up to my neighborhood. So it sounds like I'll eventually see you all around town again. Thank you for reaching out, and next time I see you all, I'm making us all sing karaoke together. Aaron and the two Megans. That could be our band name.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure it would be entertaining at the very least. Oh,
fun.
It would, and that sounds like a blast. So hopefully we'll get to see you for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes. Oh, but yeah, RSV is bad right now.
Everybody is sick right now. They're running
Yeah.
out of like flu medicine.
Yeah.
They're running. I mean, everything is bad right now.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but we got to go back. We got to go back to cautioning ourselves around.
I know.
Yeah.
It needs to happen.
It sucks, but I think we learned a lot from the pandemic, which we could actually put to use now.
Right.
I think before, when like flu would hit and everything we would just kind of go, oh, wow, that sucks. But now it's like, oh, we actually have the tools to stop spreading this as much.
Right.
So maybe we should start using those tools, as bummer as it is.
Yeah.
But that's a great cause, and we'll definitely donate.
Yes, for sure. Well, before I tell you my spiel on how you can support our podcast, I want to tell you that speaking of celebrity, I too got recognized. I can't believe
No,
I forgot to tell you.
Not where.
Okay, I'm going to make it as quick as I can.
Oh, don't tell me everything.
I went to the Moth with Debbie Graff, with
okay.
Debbie, our friend of ours, because she likes to tell her stories over there, and it was so much fun.
Wait. You have to explain to people what the Moth is, because right now you just sound like you're going into somebody's like dungeon basement.
Well, the Moth
that likes moths.
The Moth, if you don't know, but the Moth is pretty big.
Okay.
It's a podcast called The Moth.
Oh my gosh, I did not realize it was I do know the podcast, The Moth.
Yes. So this whole, like, The Moth puts on these shows all around.
No idea. That's how we do it, girl.
What?
That's how we get ghost stories. We have to go all around.
We have to get a production. We have to be as big as The Moth. Okay, great.
Yep.
No problem. I'm right on top of that, Rose.
We got Rue. Rue's making shit happen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyways, and then they have like, the winners of each month. Like there's a big one in January. That's a great thing. You know how I don't like music? It was like my Woodstock, going and just listening to stories. It was so much fun.
Nice.
Well, at the very end of it, okay, the MC, she was like Louisville Public something.
Yeah, NPR's. Probably NPR's.
Yeah, it might have been. But anyway, so I thought it's weird that you're putting an S at the end of NPR.
NPR's host, like one of NPR's hosts.
Yes.
But she probably does she does the Waterfront Wednesdays, I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So anyways,
she's very famous, but I can't think of her name right now.
I thought, well, I'll just drop in that.
Okay.
My skeptical sister. Let's see if we can hustle this a little bit. So I get up there, I start talking to her. There's 3 women standing there, and one of them has a mask on because she is following the protocol. And as I'm talking, I say, and I've got this podcast, and the girl standing next to me is like, Aaron, you're Aaron. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she goes, Aaron Clem. And I thought, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Why would she call me my maiden name? It was Bethany, who we grew up with at church. She did not recognize me.
Oh my gosh. You didn't get cited for our podcast.
No, but for about 30, not even 30 seconds, for about 3 seconds, I was like, holy shit, it's happening.
Oh my gosh.
Nope. She was like, oh my gosh, it's Aaron.
Okay. That is such a bummer.
I know.
That story is such a bummer. Because had you been like kind of wheeling and dealing with this big name, and you start to drop our podcast, and then somebody's like, oh, you're from then she'd be like, oh, I gotta check this out.
Right. But no.
Then she just had to stand there through awkward.
Yep, it was awkward.
Back and forth talk between you and somebody we grew up with. That not the story of our lives? Like, that is so classically, like, that should be in the center of life skit. Like, here it is. I'm about to get. I knew you back when you used to pull my hair at church. That is so funny.
Yeah. So I didn't really get.
Oh, you had me hook, line, and sinker.
I know, right?
I was ready for this story. I was like, this is so much fun. We're about to make it big. I mean, maybe Bethany. Come on, Bethany. Get in here. You got something going on? You got an editing process of some sort?
Come on, something. Okay. If you would like to support our little podcast, you can check us out at myskepticalsister@gmail.com to write in your stories. You can go to www.myskepticalsister to see our beautiful website, where you can find out how to become a Patreon. $3 a month gets you a sticker. It gets you a holiday card right now, which we just sent a bunch of those out.
Yes, we did. We got a shout out too.
We did?
We did. We got a shout out from Mindy.
Oh, I haven't been on Facebook all night.
I think it was Instagram.
Oh, nice. I can't wait. Yes, so we send out, you get bonus content with that as well. And then $5 a month gets you all that plus our movie nights. You can rate, review, subscribe. You can follow us on our Instagram. on our Facebook and on TikTok. And you can write your stories in because we would love to read your stories on our podcast.
Yes, we would.
And I think that's it. I think I'm passing it to you. Thanks, everybody.
Mhm.
We'll see you next week.
Buena festa.
All right.
That means happy holidays
Oh,
in Italian.
very nice.
La 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 la.
Mainly because I wanted to
Oh,
see.
because of mimosa.
Yeah.
Momo.
Not mimosa.
I can't get names right tonight. Sorry.
No.
And then it dawned on me, have you been gaslighting me this whole time?
No.
Just like, bitch, you better not gaslight me.
I
Okay.
promise you, I'm not.
When I asked her what the school... Get it, girl. Rue, if you can't hear that, Ellie just snored so loud. You're all rock starring it out. You're like, I know how to do this. We don't need a test. I'm a celebrity guest star now
Guys,
on a
Lord, you're ridiculous.
famous podcast. I'm good to go.